Welcome back to Where Black Cats Walk. We are talking about the bird, but this lot haven't calmed down yet from Wilson Isidore's saved 2 penalties. And do the fan base need to calm down and just leave Wilson alone? Plus, is Cirkin the best Speakman signing so far? AI is going to predict Sunderland's away fixtures, and we are setting up our worst ever Sunderland 11. Last week, these guys put Lee Camp in goal. Who will they put as their front 2 strikers? Stay to the end of the video to find out about that, and let's have a chat about Burnley 0, Sunderland 0. Before we go any further, thank you so much for your support. Drop us a subscribe. We love making this content. It's so hard to get new channels going, so can you help us? Jamie, if you calm down now, I know it's seems a long time ago, but have you ever seen a match end in that fashion before?
No, never. I don't think anybody has, but it's one of them where if it's before the game, you offer a point, you take a point. But in that situation, a point's the last thing you want. I think when we got the second penalty, it was like get out free jail card, get out jail free card, and it was, you couldn't believe your eyes when he put it in the same place and he made the same save again. But we make things hard for ourselves, don't we? And that's the way it's going.
Cheers for Jamie. Dylan, there's been tons of comments online, some of it not so nice towards Wilson Isidore. We'll look at a couple of them in a minute, more pleasant ones. But what's your take on it? Should a striker be missing from 12 yards out twice?
Well, no, definitely not. But I mean, it's sort of, when Roberts missed it the last time, everyone was saying, "Oh, your striker should be taking it." So we were all clamouring for Isidore to be taking them. And then obviously there was the shenanigans before the first one, which delayed the penalty. He's missed, and then I mean, from there you could just tell his head was gone. Even as he was stood waiting to take the second one, you could just tell he was going to miss it. And it's like, don't agree at all with the stick he's been getting. Some of it's been quite horrid, really. But also on the flip side, I also wasn't particularly fond of the way that he was almost getting babied on Twitter, like people at him like, "Oh, I love you so much." Like, he's a 24-year-old man and he's a professional footballer. He should be scoring them. My perspective on it is, yeah, you messed up. Go and score 2 the next game and you'll make up for it.
Yeah, if he bags a hat-trick against Derby in midweek, of course, recording it before that, everything's forgiven. Let's have a look, Leo, shall we? Paul says, I'm embarrassed for him. Missing from 12 yards out twice. Roberts had 1 chance, got it took away. This guy thinks, okay, I'll take 2 penalties. Exactly the same. It's not even funny. It's stupid. Job takes the next one because he has a brain. Too harsh, Leo, do you think?
If Paul wants to step up and take a penalty against second in the league in the last minute, then he's more than welcome to. No, I think he's partially right in what he's saying. But like Dylan said, I don't think there's many people online who are kind of down the middle about this. There's either people cradling him in their arms and saying, "Don't worry, son, it'll be all right." And then there's people the complete other end of the spectrum and saying he should never play for the team again. Well, by what they're saying. But I don't know. I think the first one, any Sunderland fan watching that game would think, all right, Isidore takes it before we see who actually is. And then the second one, I think if the first penalty's in the first half and the second one's in the second half, I wouldn't mind Isidore taking it again. But when it's 10 minutes apart and the first one's still fresh on his mind, I think at that point there has to be a second taker.
For you, you're obviously going to say yes to this, but our Burnley fans wanted it discussed. For any issues with either of the penalties being awarded, Jamie, for you?
I think the first one was outside the box. He's obviously landed near the penalty spot, but it was definite contact outside the box. I think the second one's a stonewaller. Cirkin's chopped back. The defenders slid the ground, missed the ball, and made contact with the man. Like, I don't know why there's any kind of confusion about the second one. But yeah, the first one wasn't. The second one was.
Okay, and what about Trafford's performance still in it? Do you think the referee needed to take stronger action there? I mean, he's taken his gloves off to tie his laces, and then his hamstring cramps up for the second one.
Yeah, conveniently when he took his gloves off to tie his laces, it also gave him the chance to go and spend a few minutes looking at his bottle to see all the notes he had down about which way our penalty takers were going. He should have been booked for the first one, because as soon as the gloves came off, he's quite clearly time wasting. Obviously, he didn't get caution, so he's been able to time waste again, going down, pretending to be injured. it's one of them. Obviously, we were all disgusted, but if someone's doing that for your team, you're absolutely buzzing. Like, I'm sure if we saw Jordan Pickford doing that, we'd be going, "Oh, what a bloke!" It's just unfortunate that it worked so well and it happened against us. But as much as his conduct before the penalties was probably unsportsmanlike, you kind of take away from the fact he's gone there and he's saved 2 penalties and he's kept it 0-0. So fair play to him, as much as I don't like him very much.
Okay. That's twice you played Burnley now, Leo, and twice you've been the better team. Does it give you hope that second could very much be on for you?
Well, I think I said in one of these recordings a couple of weeks ago that I think we will finish second when we were doing I think it was our mid-season predictions. I still think it's on. I think even in recent weeks, Leeds, Sheffield and Burnley have all been, inclined to drop points and dropping points in games that they shouldn't have. Leeds conceding late to Blackburn. You've got Sheffield losing to Burnley at home. That was their first home loss of the season. I think it's definitely still on. We just need to get over this. And it feels weird saying that because we've just drew to Burnley away, saying we need to get over this and move on. But that's kind of what it feels like because of that last 15 minutes.
As you know, guys, we cover all 24 teams across the Terrace Talk network. And I've got to say, Sunderland fans seem to be becoming more of the reactionary fan base than ever. When things don't go well or you don't win, there is an outpouring of fans. And I don't know whether they don't go to the game or whether they are secret mags in disguise, but it's bizarre. People need to calm down a bit, Jamie. This is a good tweet I saw from one of our team here. Relax, we're fourth in the league, only 2 points off Burnley and Leeds. I would have 100% taken a point before the game. Strong and compact defence. I felt we took the game to Burnley for large spells on to Derby. Do people need to chill out a bit, Jamie, and just enjoy the ride?
Yeah, like I said at the start, I think we all take a point before that game. When you move on and you go and try and get 3 at Derby and take 4 from 6 on the road in the week, and it's a great week. Obviously, Leeds and Sheffield United have put 3 points on the board since then. We just got to keep doing what we're doing. I think we won't. I think the window will still play a big part. Looks like Sheffield United are bringing in 2 strikers. It's kind of what happens next from here in the next 10 days in the window, and then all systems go towards the end of the season, really.
Okay. All right, then let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about Cirkin, Dylan, because of course he was notched up 100 appearances for the club, and Dobson here says he's one of the best signings under Speakman, other than the issues you've already spoken about in the penalty. Question is simple to you all. Starting with you, Dylan. Is he one of the best signings under Speakman?
He's definitely up there. It took him a while to get going because he had his injury issues, which, touch wood, he's got past because obviously we've just lost Adji. But I think now is the time where we're really going to see what he's made of, because Adji's not going to play again this season by the looks of it. And so he's going to need to step up, stay fit and keep performing the way he has in the early stages of this season. He's looked a bit shaky since he came back, but that's to be expected because when you've been out the side, you've not been playing games, you're not going to be as fresh. But when he's fit and firing, I mean, that goal he scored earlier in the season was absolutely phenomenal. And what he contributes, just bombing down the left, bit link-up play, overlapping runs, he's one of the best attacking fullbacks in the division. And in terms of the value for money we're getting, I don't know for definite, but the reports are saying we're paid roughly £1 million for him, if that. I mean, that's an absolute bargain now. And if there is a time when he does go, I'm sure we're going to make a massive return on investment. And that's all of what they're trying to achieve with the model. So it's testament to the work that they're doing, I suppose.
Good shout. Leo, what's your thoughts on Dennis?
I think he's absolutely wicked, to be honest. Although he is a yellow card machine, and he is inclined to have a performance where, I mean, I think the commentators mentioned it. I was thinking it. I think everyone watching the first 25 minutes of that game was thinking Jadon Anthony could have him for the full 90 minutes here if he wanted. He looks like he was toying with him at first. But I think he got through it, and although Jadon Anthony did have a couple of chances, he had that shot that went straight to Patterson in the second half. I think after he got through that first 20-25 minutes, he really, really started to solidify and make sure that he wasn't getting beat every time, because, like I say, that first spell of the game, it did look rough for him.
Okay.
I think the big thing with Cirkin is he's always had different players in front of him as well this season. He's had Mundell, he's had Watson, he's had Aushish, he's had Lefebvre on Friday night. So that combination play on that left hand side is only going to get better when he has a regular kind of link up.
Okay. Quick load on the fade, Dylan. How did he do for you?
Other than the first cross he tried to put in, which was absolutely shocking, but other than that, he was absolutely outstanding. He was probably our best player, other than maybe Dan Neil, who I thought had a really good game as well. Just his eye for a pass is absolutely brilliant. It's not necessarily the flashy passes, it's not Hollywood passes, but it's the fact he can see the easy option and instead just choose to bend it round the opposition player and get it into a better position. And the ball he put into Wilson, which again, that's another chance he should have put away, no problem, was really good. And to play out of position on his debut and put in a performance that good, I just can't wait to see him for the rest of the season. And I think if we can get two more of his quality in the side, I think we'll storm the top two.
All right. Brilliant. I said we're recording this before the Derby results, so let's focus on Plymouth now. Leo, the last time you played Plymouth, it didn't go all so well for you. You remember back after the international break in September, Joe Edwards managed to score a 90th minute winner. I can't see a repeat of that kind of scoreline happening again on Saturday. And following Derby being dismal, this should be 6 points on the board by the time we talk again in 7 days' time, shouldn't it? Two of the worst sides in the league.
Well, you would like to think so, but we have had our struggles, especially away against teams that have something to fight for and are fighting near that lower end of the division, or are fighting for promotion. You know, we struggled away to Blackburn, struggled to Watford when they were flying. And like you've just brought up that Plymouth result. So I think Derby will be a tough game. I think they'll put up a fight, but we should be winning that. And then, I think we'll sweep aside Plymouth at home. Although the whole country wants to go into battle now, considering seeing their manager's first team talk. I think we'll be able to just sweep them aside comfortably, especially being at home.
Okay. Last week, if you were watching, we asked AI to predict all the home games. This week, we've asked it to predict all the away travels that you've got left. Here's what it came up with, Jamie. It predicted you to get 17 more points on the road, winning 5 at Derby, Coventry, Norwich, Bristol City and Oxford, drawing in Sheffield and West Brom, and actually losing to Middlesbrough and to Leeds in a couple of weeks' time. It's a difficult run coming up away from home, isn't it? If we look at
there's some big games
that.
there.
Would you take that 17 out of a possible?
I think you can take 17 away from home and do well on your own turf. It's definitely positive there. We don't tend to have a great record at Borough for some reason. Leeds is going to be tough, and there's some big clubs in there. There's a lot of ex-Premier League sides to go and visit yet as well. So I think I would take 17 out of that, to be fair.
Dylan, you've, as Leo's mentioned, some of these away trips have been difficult. What do you need to see a little bit different if you have to pick up maximum points at some of these places?
Stop conceding goals in the dying stages of games. I think I said the show to start when we were playing Burnley, but we've dropped something daft like. I think it's at 9 points, but it could be wrong. I'm sure we've dropped 9 points in the last 10 minutes of games this season. The results that they just put up there, you take that. I mean, last week it predicted that we wouldn't lose again at home. So if you take 2 losses for the rest of the season, I mean, I'd snap your hand off for that. I've seen that draw against Sheff Wed. I'm hoping Danny Rowe just walks before that game because their owner's an absolute nightmare. So hopefully he's going to get fed up and we can get another win there. But yeah, we just need to work on sort of keeping tight in the latter stages and not absorbing too much pressure to the point where we just end up conceding silly, sloppy goals, because it's happened time and time again this season, and we just need to iron that out of our game. And then we're not been doing much else wrong, to be honest.
All right. Brilliant. Before we move on to the last part, don't forget our target is to get to 100 subscribers. Help us out by clicking the subscribe button and the like, and of course share as well. Because it's rubbish in January, we're looking at the very worst of Sunderland in the Championship era, and of course the League One era as well. 20 years. Last week we asked you to put in goal the worst ever goalkeeper. This week we're doing strikers. So Lee Camp was voted in last week as the worst ever goalkeeper that you've seen in a Sunderland shirt. So we need 2 strikers to go up top. Jamie, can we kick this off with you? Have you got who's the worst striker you've ever seen in the red and white stripes?
Yeah, I mean, the guy that we did sign was, the rumour is we actually signed the wrong person, a Honduran. I think it was about 25 years ago now under Reedy. We signed a kid called Milton Nunes, who was about 5'2", and he was it was a comedy show. I think he played a reserve game and he attracted about 30,000 for a reserve game at the Stadium of Life against Man United, or maybe it was Leeds, and it was. I think he just recently admitted on Rugger Report we signed the wrong player. I mean, how does that happen? And he was shot. I think he played one league game and one cup game. He's like 5'3", just a horror show.
Okay, Dylan.
There's a few you could go for in more recent years. I would have said Josie Altidore, however, because we got Defoe through just a pure swap deal, then he's got a free pass. You look down at the League One years and you could say the likes of Keziah Sterling or Jerome Sinclair or Will Grigg. I mean, I think that just shows that how terrible the level we were at. I don't think they were necessarily all that bad, except for Will Grigg, who was diabolical. So I think I'll probably say Danny Graham, just because we had him twice and he was absolutely shocking both times. Yeah, I'm locking in Danny Graham.
Okay, Leo.
I want to put James Vaughan forward. I thought he was absolutely terrible. Signed him in the Championship. Stuck with us, I think, for our first season or maybe first 2 seasons in League One. And I cannot remember a single thing he's done that was positive or got me thinking he was a good player. He tried an overhead kick in every single game and missed the ball every single time. And then another one I would say from that same season, Ashley Fletcher came in to replace Lewis Graben after Bournemouth recalled him. Or I don't know whether it was Bournemouth or Forest, but after they recalled him halfway through the year, and Graben had about 12 goals by then, and Ashley Fletcher did not get 12 goals in the second half of the season. Let's put it that way.
Oh my goodness, there's some cracking shouts there. I'm sure we've missed some as well. Let us know, of course, in the comments. We'll fill in the back line next week as well. So get thinking about who the worst defenders you've seen at Sunderland as we build up this team. Thank you very much, all three of you. Enjoy your trip to Derby, of course, this week. For those of you heading that way, and of course, enjoy the Plymouth game as well. And we'll, of course, catch you back in 7 days' time to review it all. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great week out there.